Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use either alcohol inks or pigments, whichever you have on hand, to achieve this opal pastel design. As you can see, it looks good both matte and shiny. So if this is something that you're interested in, keep watching. Please don't forget to click the like and subscribe. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section below and I will get to you as soon as possible. Keep watching. So for this design, you are going to need a clear acrylic and also a white acrylic, and whatever monomer of choice you are using. I'm still currently using the Vibrato brand. So for this design, I actually wanted to try using alcohol inks and pigments just to see how well either of them mix and blend into the monomer. So we'll start with the pigments, and the ones that I am going to use for this design are these two here. This one is from Crystal Nails, it's neon pink, and then this one is from back in the day it was called Elite, and it's called number 21 Electric Purple. So these two pigments mixed in very, very well into the monomer. There was no separating, there was no issues. Now, when they sit for a long period of time, of course, the pigment does separate a little bit, but you just give it a little bit of a stir and it's not really a big deal at all. So these ones mixed in really well. Now, I tried 4 other colors of my pigments that I had to see how well they would work, and it was not as successful. So I wanted to try a couple of the ones that I have that have shimmer in them. So if I open this guy up, you can see it's got a pearl sort of effect to it. Now these ones did work, but not quite as well as the other two. What I noticed was, I'm not sure if it's because of the pearl effect that's added. When I dipped my brush into the wet colored monomer and then into the clear acrylic, it's almost like the color separated a little bit from the clear. So, I mean, it was fine for this because you're doing marbling, so you just kind of drag the color back through the clear. It wasn't a big deal, but I will say it did not mix as well as the other two. And then the next two that I tried was again from the Elite brand, and I have an electric yellow and an electric red, and these two did not work at all. They actually sort of balled up into like a paste when I mixed them into the monomer, so they did not work at all. So my advice would be just to try mixing your pigments in a little bit of monomer before you test them, before you try them on clients. Test them just to make sure that the colors mix really well, because you don't want to be wasting time, obviously, when you have a client in the chair and realizing that something's not going to work. Then I wanted to try the alcohol inks. So I personally do not own any of the alcohol inks from any of the companies out there, the nail companies currently. I happen to have, I think, 4 or 5 of these. I must have purchased them a long time ago and totally forgot about them. Probably for this purpose and just never did it. So I've got this one here, alcohol ink, and it's called Mermaid, and this one is called Limeade. I just purchased these at a local craft store here. I do not know what the difference would be between these and the alcohol inks that we are purchasing from the nail suppliers or the nail companies, but when I mixed these into the monomer, they definitely mixed so much easier. Being that they are a liquid, they mixed so much easier than the pigments. But I just wanted to show both of them because some people may only have pigments at home, or some people may have the alcohol inks, or both, and I just wanted to show you guys that you can use both of them as long as the pigments do mix in properly. So that's what I have for the colors, and then you're just going to need several little dappen dishes. I've got some this size, and I've just mixed. This one has the pink in it, and then we are going to also need some type of glitter shards. So I've got this one here that I have recently purchased, and it is in my glitter haul video. This one is from the Glitter Boutique. It is called SNOWGLOBE. I will link that video below so that you can see all of the glitters that I purchased. And then also you are going to need some type of an iridescent flake. I've just got these ones here from Born Pretty. but there is a set from, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name offhand. I will link it below. Somebody had mentioned it to me in another video that I did, and I do want to purchase them because there's a particular color in there that looks exactly like the one I'm looking for. So, but this one I have on hand from eBay. And then you're going to need some type of a gold foil. So I've got this one here, and a transfer gel or a transfer foil gel. I've got the one from Joann's. And also your favorite top coat. Mine is still the Young Nails. And other than that, I think that is it. So hang in there, guys. We are going to get started. So we are going to start with the purple and the pink, and I just wanted to show you what I mean when I say if you let the monomer sit for a little bit, the color sort of separates, the pigment separates a little bit, if you can see it in the camera, and it's totally okay with these two colors. It really didn't matter. You just go in and give a little mix and everything kind of blends back up together, so not a huge deal. The other thing to keep in mind is that we are working on a smaller nail here. I mean, it's not super small, but we are going to do 2 layers of the colors, so you want to make sure to keep this very thin because you're going to do 2 layers of the color and then also cap in clear. Now, if you were working on a very long stiletto, you might even be able to get in 3 layers of color, but definitely you want to do the 2. So we are going to start off by dipping our brush into the purple monomer, and then we are going to pick up a bead of the clear, and you'll see how it tints the color of the monomer, or excuse me, of the powder. And then I'm going to also go in and just dip into the white, place it on top, and we're just going to marble those 2 colors together, filling in that space. Again, we want to keep it very thin, and you do want to work with it being, you know, a little more on the wet side so that we can get that really nice marbled effect, excuse me. Now I'm going to go into the pink and do the same thing, and I'm going to work, oopsies, dropped my bead, it was a little too wet. Again, place my bead, then dip into the white, place that on top, and marble those together. And as you can see, it gives a really pretty transparent sort of pastel color. And I have not done this yet, so it was something that I've seen and I wanted to try, and it turns out really pretty. Again, doing the same thing, this time again, going back in with the purple color, and you're just wanting to fill the nail. So now, while that acrylic is still wet, we're going to dip into our bigger flakes, and we're going to pat those into different areas of the nail. So I'm going to do about that much, excuse me, and then going in with the shards as well and placing those in several different places. And I think I'll add a little bit down here and tap those in. And then we're going to go back in and do a second layer and just basically repeat the exact same thing. So go start with the purple, then the pink in the middle, and the purple on the tip. And once you have that second layer in, then you are simply going to cap with clear. So now we are going to repeat the exact same steps using the blue and the green. Now I actually used 2 drops of each of those alcohol inks in that small amount of monomer. So as you can see, it's not very much at all, and it's a perfectly bright color. I definitely prefer to use the alcohol inks. It's way easier to mix over the pigments, but if all you have is pigments, then at least you can still try and do this design. So we're going to start with the blue, and again we are going to continue on doing the exact same steps as we did with the purple and the pink. Okay guys, so on a side note, does anyone else look at their paper towel after they have done acrylic or maybe even with gel and just loved how pretty the colors and the glitters look on the paper towel? I swear to God, half the time that I'm doing nails, I end up with some kind of color mix on my paper towel and I think, ooh, that would look so nice on a nail. I think this would look so pretty, just like a marbled pastel watercolor look. So I may have to try to do something. I may have to try to emulate this on a set of nails. But curious, comment below and let me know if I'm the only one who does this. So I also thought it would be a nice little added touch just to add the gold foiling around the edge. So you're just going to take your transfer gel and basically just paint along the edge. Now, of course, when you're working on a client, you want to be very, very careful not to be on the skin. So I would actually use a small detailer brush just to do the areas that are up by the skin of the client. That way you don't get any of the gel on their skin. So we're just going to paint all the way around the nail with the transfer foil gel, and then we are going to cure it, and then we're going to stick the foil on there. And once that transfer foil gel is cured, then you are just going to tap in your foil. Alright guys, so these are how they turned out, and of course the very next step, once we've got all our foils on, is to apply our top coat. It's the best part, let's be real. And of course, you want to make sure, because we've got that foil along the edge, that you are going along and making sure to seal it in really, really well. You may even want to apply 2 coats of top coat, just in case. So I decided I'm going to actually do a couple of them in matte, just to see how they turn out. So I'm going to do this one in matte. Now, of course, that will also mattify the foil on the edge, but that's totally okay. So let's see how this one turns out. And then I'm going to do this one shiny. And this one, again, I'm going to do in matte. And lastly, this guy will be done in shiny. Well guys, thanks again for watching another video. This was really fun to do. It's a very soft, pretty design and definitely something you could do for spring, summer, Easter, anything like that. So if this is something that you enjoyed and you know anyone else that might enjoy it, please share it with them. And also, please like and subscribe. Send any comments that you have right to the bottom. And as always, have a fabulous day.